Hey everyone, it is Flynn Patrick again, and in this video, we will be continuing Basketball Infinite's 2018 NBA Draft coverage. We are hitting this content hard over the next month up until the draft. We already have our first mock draft up, and we will be releasing 2 to 3 more mock drafts until the 2018 NBA draft occurs, so stay tuned for that. In this video, we will be discussing my favorite prospect in the entire draft. I believe this man is being highly underrated by NBA scouts, NBA GMs, as well as NBA draft websites and big boards across the internet. From the big boards I have seen, the consensus is that this player, although a top 20 player, I have not seen a single big board have him as a top 10 player on the internet. And barely any have him as a top 15. I have him as the number 5 player in the entire draft. And if NBA GMs do not jump on the Zhaire Smith bandwagon very soon, he is going to fall out of the lottery, and he is going to fall to a team like the San Antonio Spurs with the number 18 pick, and the San Antonio Spurs and Greg Popovich are going to turn Zhaire Smith into Godzilla. I believe Zhaire Smith is the Donovan Mitchell of this draft class. I believe by the time the draft comes around, teams are going to notice the talent of this young man. I do believe he will be a lottery pick when it's all said and done. But if he falls out of the lottery, NBA GMs are making a mistake. Okay, so in this video, we are going to discuss 5 reasons why I think Zhaire Smith is the most underrated prospect in the entire NBA draft. Number 1, efficiency and consistency. When formulating my overall NBA player ranking, which by the way, we have hashtag Infinite Rank currently going on right now. We have full-length videos for the numbers 103 to 120 NBA players currently. Check that out. Anyways, one of the biggest factors I look for is consistency and efficiency, and this young man has that. He shot 56% from the field as a freshman, as an 18-year-old, as a shooting guard. That is pretty good. He also shot 46% from the three-point line. That is ridiculous efficiency. He consistently scored in double figures on the season. He did only get to 20 points twice during the season, but I believe that has more to do with the team-oriented offense at Texas Tech, more so than the talent of this young man. And hey, Texas Tech did make the Elite 8. I can't really blame the coach for that. He also averaged 1 block a game and 1 steal a game, which shows off defensive versatility. Number 2, and this is the most exciting one, he has next level athleticism. Along with his efficiency, his athleticism is absolutely through the roof. I mean, his athleticism is just ridiculous. Go look up this man's highlight tapes on YouTube right after you watch this video, and your jaw will drop. I would go as far to say as his athleticism is more NBA ready than Donovan Mitchell's was as a prospect. In my opinion, he is the most athletic player in the NBA draft. He had a 41.5-inch vertical jump. That is absurd, and he had ridiculous combine numbers to go along with that vertical jump. His athleticism translates in game as well. His dunks are ridiculous. He makes ridiculous blocks. This man's athleticism is more than ready for the NBA right now. There are a good amount of efficient and consistent players in the NBA. There are a good amount of athletic players in the NBA. But there are very few players who can combine the efficiency and the athleticism. Mr. Smith will be able to do that. Number 3, age and potential. He only turns 19 years old shortly before the draft. he will be a teenager his whole rookie season. So keep in mind, as an 18-year-old at Texas Tech, he led that team to the Elite Eight. He is a fighter. He was not even a top 200 recruit coming into the college basketball scene, but he came to Texas Tech and he worked his way up and he was balling out by the end of the season. That shows persistence. I like that. If he had returned to Texas Tech another year, I absolutely believe he would have destroyed the college basketball scene. He is making a smart decision by remaining in the draft. And let's keep this in mind. By the time his 4th NBA season comes around, he will still only be 22 years old. So this man with 3 years of NBA work in a good system, holy macaroni. Number 4, high basketball IQ. He has a high basketball IQ. He turned the ball over very little this past season. I would like to see him improve as a playmaker. His playmaking isn't necessarily where Donovan Mitchell's was. That being said, I do believe this was more a product of him being in that team-oriented Texas Tech system more so than his talent. I think that his skill level will translate more to the NBA than it did in college basketball. Number 5, the combination of the traits mixed before as well as the players ranked after the top 4. Okay, you've got Ayton, you've got Doncic, you've got Bamba, who I've moved up in my big board now, and then you've got Marvin Bagley III. I think those are by far, right now, the top 4 prospects in the NBA draft. Maybe add Trae Young in there. But then you've got a bunch of players after that who I really wouldn't put on a pedestal above Mr. Smith. Listen, man, you've got his age, you've got his efficiency, you've got more than ready NBA level athleticism, you've got high basketball IQ, you've got consistency, and you've got persistence and resilience coming from being a not even top 200 recruit in high school to being a potential lottery pick, and I think he should be even higher. He is absolutely being overlooked, and I think his game will translate better to the NBA than it did showing in the Big 12. If NBA GMs let a player like this fall to the San Antonio Spurs, I will personally drive to the NBA draft and give them all a knuckle sandwich. If this happens, Flynn Patrick will ferociously shake his head on draft night. This man is being overlooked. You heard it here first. Zhaire Smith is the next Donovan Mitchell. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We're going to be doing a lot of draft coverage over the next month. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love the draft. I'm really excited to get right to this draft coverage. High quality content, creative. Basketball Infinite likes having a lot of fun. I like having a lot of fun. It's summertime. It's a lot of positive vibes. It's a lot of positive energy, and you all have a wonderful night.